again. I may have to move locations soon because the sun is starting to shine this way. So the next topic on page Roman numeral 14 is duration. And duration is length of time that a pitch will sound. So remember, the four words are pitch, intensity, duration, timbre. We've talked about pitch and we've talked about intensity. I haven't shown you pitch notation yet. But pitch has to do with frequency. The highness or lowness of a pitch depends on the rate of frequency. And then the intensity is the loudness or softness. So to show duration, we use note values. And I'm sure that all of you are familiar with these, but if you aren't, this is a whole note. There is a note value that's longer than this. It's called a breve, and it looks like a whole note with little bars on either side of it. So a whole note is a whole measure of sound, usually considered to be 4 counts. A whole note can subdivide into 2 half notes, right? And each half note can subdivide into 2 quarter notes. It's like pie. A whole pie, a half a pie, a quarter of a pie. And each quarter note can subdivide into 2 eighth notes, 2 eighth notes, and each eighth note can subdivide into 2 16th notes. I don't have any card to show 16th notes or eighth notes beamed together, but if they were beamed, it would be a line across and then another line to show that they're 16th notes. An eighth note would just have one line across. So there are 2 half notes to equal a whole note. There's 4 quarter notes to equal a whole note. There's 8 eighth notes to equal a whole note, and 16 16th notes to equal a whole note. And you can go on from there, 32nd notes, 64th notes. You just add extra beams or extra flags to show that. So that's the basic duration. Then you combine durations to create rhythm and meter. And meter is the structural organization, the rhythmic structural organization. And basically, you have 2 meters, 2 basic meters. Duple, meaning 2 beats per bar, 1, 2, 1, 2, or triple, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And every other meter is some combination of those 2. So 4 meter would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, which is 2 plus 2, and 6 would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the simplest terms. There's, I'll throw 2 words out at you, simple meter and compound meter. So anything that subdivides into 2 things is a simple meter. So 2, 4, 4, 4, 3, 4, 2, 8, 4, 8, 3, 8. Those are all simple meters because the basic note value subdivides into 2 of something else. Very quickly, they're going to throw compound meter at you. And that is when the basic note value subdivides into 3 of something else. So 6/8 is made up of 2 dotted quarter notes, and each of those dotted quarter notes subdivides into 3 eighth notes. Your problems are compounded, and it's a compound meter. More on that later. So rhythm is the rhythm, the combination of note values, and meter is the structural organization of how those rhythms are put together to make musical sense. In Dalcroze Eurythmics, which I'll talk about more, who is Dalcroze and why did we talk about this, they talk about the crucis, the metacrucis, and the anacrucis. So in 2/4 meter, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, crucis. You have a downbeat and an upbeat. And that gives a very zippy feel to it. 1, 2, 1, 2, because there's no through the beat note. It's all downbeat, upbeat, downbeat, upbeat, downbeat, upbeat. Lots of marches are written in 2/4. Then if you go with 3/4, there's a downbeat, through the beat, crucis, metacrucis, anacrucis. Downbeat, through the beat, upbeat, down. That gives a little bit more flow. And then 4/4 meter is downbeat, through the beat, through the beat, upbeat, downbeat, through the beat, through the beat, upbeat. So this can help you as you're trying to interpret a piece of music that you're working on. Understanding the metric stress will help you understand the phrasing. Music theory in general helps you understand music. And my hope is that by understanding music theory, you will become a more profound interpreter of the music that you are playing. So that's skating through rhythm and meter. And then on page 15, Roman numeral 15, they show you, they give you an example of that. And I will have to be where I can have a little more power to play that example for you. Timbre, I think I can talk about now as well. Timbre is the tone quality or quality of a sound, and what gives the piano a piano timbre and what gives an oboe timbre is something called the harmonic series. And they show you a little chart here. It's all very scientific. Basically, what it means is that you have the overtone series, or partials. And every pitch has these, right down here. These are all the pitches that will sound inside of one pitch. So you get the pitch that you're playing on the piano or your instrument, and then part of that sound is going to be an octave above that, a fifth above the octave above, a fourth above that, a third, a major third, a minor third, another minor third, a second, several major seconds, and then a combination of seconds and half steps. And the notes in the overtone series that are more pronounced due to the construction and materials of the instrument you're playing, some of those notes in the overtone series will be more pronounced than others, and that is what gives any instrument its particular tone quality, is the way the overtone series works for that instrument. So go ahead and read that a few times. I think it will make sense eventually. So, pitch, intensity, duration, timbre. Timbre is influenced by the overtone series. And that is influenced by the shape of the instrument, the material the instrument's made of, and how you put the sound in motion. Are you blowing on it? Are you hitting it? Are you bowing across a string? All of that will influence how the sound comes together. All right, that is the introduction. Pitch, intensity, duration, timbre. Those are the 4 words you want to remember. Those are the 4 properties of sound. And in my next video, I will start talking about chapter 1, which has to do with notation. Please learn to read the notes on both clefs as quickly as possible so that you can ace Music Theory 1.